Hey guys, it's FifaRalle here and welcome to my final and third video on some of the new skill games on FIFA 15. And the first one we're going into is some of the new dribbling skill games. And the first one, the bronze level, you basically have to run around in the middle circle and run a bit of a zigzag movement before you run into the middle in order to complete that. Relatively simple in my opinion. And yeah, then the silver level, I guess it's the same as last year. You basically just have these moving one-man walls and you'll have to avoid them and run down to the other end. And I think you get more points the faster you're able to complete this. And I did hit one of the final walls there in the end, but still got enough points to pass the challenge and move on through to the gold level. Now the gold level is a little bit different from last year. I believe last year you had sort of a similar challenge, but where you have all these gates, I guess you could call it, with the cones. You had defenders standing trying to take the ball off you. Here you just have one defender chasing you at all times, and yeah, he was pretty difficult to get rid of because he just always kept on bouncing back. Because remember last year, if you were able to go past one of the gates, I guess we would call it, you'd usually get a defender with no, from his, just standing still starting to chase you, so it was a little bit easier to get some distance to them. But in this one, he just seems to always be right on you, and it was a little bit tricky to get past him at times. I believe it was Sergio Ramos I was up against here with Ronaldo. But eventually I would make my way through some of the final gates, but these small, just one cone, so I had to turn around. You had to use the precision dribbling, I believe. You could not just run around them, you had to use that precision dribbling to complete them, and that took me a while to figure out and complete those properly. So yeah, those were definitely the most tricky ones to get done, but in the end I got a little bit lucky to get past the final one there and complete the gold level, get enough points and move on to the skill challenge. But I decided not to show that because it's the exact same thing as last year, the skill challenge, which it is pretty fun, but I just didn't want to show it because, well, you've probably seen that on FIFA 14 before. So I moved on to the next skill game, which was the lob pass. I believe the advanced dribbling was the exact same thing as 14 as well. So onto the lob pass I went, and that was actually pretty fun. It's a new skill game, a bunch of new stuff here. First off, you have to play lob passes over some boxes to some of your teammates. Relatively simple, and then you move on to some of the more fun skill games. Here you basically have to hit all the goals standing around the pitch, and you'll have to avoid the one-man moving walls, and of course get the ball over the I guess barriers that is in front of the goals. You have to use the lob pass, of course, and yeah, just hit it into the back of the nets, which is to some extent relatively simple once you get the hang of it. The final one is a little bit tricky to hit at times, and I believe you got 2,000 points if you could hit it into the back of the net without it bouncing on the ground. And if it bounces on the ground, you will you'll only get 1,000 points. And the same thing applies for the gold level here. You get maximum points if you hit it into the back of the net without it bouncing, and if it bounces you get half amount of the points. And this one was really fun in my opinion. It took me a little while to get a proper go at this one because I did fail quite a few of my hits on this one, but eventually I would get it down and get a decent score on this one. And it was especially those far wide goals, that one on the left and the one on the right. They were pretty tricky to hit at times, and I did waste quite a few of my attempts on those when I practiced this one here. A little bit unlucky to hit the far post on the near goal there, but in the end I would hit it here, get 2,000 points and aim for the final goal far away. But as you can see, yeah, my first shot, it went a little bit wide, so I had to go with another attempt, and eventually I would be able to hit that and get enough points. But I'm sure you can get a lot more points than I did, because if you're able to hit it into the back of the net without it bouncing on every single attempt you go with, you'll probably get, I don't know how many, but maybe up close to 20,000 points. Now the skill challenge I found quite a bit of fun. It is a little bit similar to one of the passing skill games where you have this I guess, moving a wall in some way, moving back and forth, and you will have to pass it through it. Now, the way I believe it worked is if you went with first time lob passes, you would get 2,000 points, and if it was you took a touch and then passed it through, then you would get 1,000 points. Now, this one was pretty tricky because I do believe this was on manual, so you had to like aim proper in order to get it through, and at the same time, if the ball went out of bounds, like out of the square you see here, you would basically lose, and that would be your score. Now, it could go outside the area as long as it didn't hit the ground, basically, so you'll be able to pick it up and hit it back into the square. It just couldn't hit the ground, basically, outside this square. And at the same time, you got minus points if you hit the wall in the middle, and at the same time you got 1 minute and 30 seconds to complete it and get as many points as possible. And as you can see here, I did fail in the end, gave it too much power, so I guess I had 30 more seconds to get some more points, but in the end I was able to get enough points to beat the skill challenge, and that is also going to be where I finish off this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I'll be back again tomorrow with some Ultimate Team FIFA 15 stuff, and that is pretty much all. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.